Hi there, and welcome back. I'm Cesar from 70th Puertas, and today I want to talk to you about the most special subject. At least it is for me. As you know, a while back I created this community challenge with the hashtag Tarot Collection Top Decks. And recently it has got into France, and there are more and more French tarot tubers doing VRs to this. One of the prompts of the challenge is what's the most misunderstood tarot deck? And there's a reader from France, Sensid, I'll include the link below, who in his VR said that the most misunderstood tarot deck is the Tarot de Marseille. And just before starting this video, I've watched another VR in which another French tarot reader says the same, that the most misunderstood tarot deck for them is the Tarot de Marseille. And this was really shocking. I mean, a French tarot reader saying that in France, the most misunderstood tarot deck is the Marseille Tarot. I mean, wow! I don't speak French very well. I just studied it a few years time ago, and in fact, my French is even worse than my English, which is not good at all. So just in case, I rewatched that part of the video over and over again, and yes, I got it right. That was what he said, and he gave his reasons for that. And you know, it was mind blowing. I mean, it's a shock for me. So in the past days, I've been thinking about all this and focusing on the Tarot de Marseille and my relation with it. And that's why I'm here today with you to talk about the Marseille Tarot, why I read with it, why I teach to read it, why it's the best system, why it's cool. I think I remember a video by Magdalena from the channel Wolf of Coins where she says so that the Marseille Tarot is cool, and I totally agree with her. Cool, wonderful, superb, sublime, the best one, as you prefer. I love it. And that video from the French reader was some sort of Kickstarter for me to make this video now. I've written a few notes or guidelines here on a paper on what I want to say. So I hope this doesn't become a long video, but I find the subject so interesting that I cannot let it go passing by. After all, the Tarot is my passion, and most especially the Tarot de Marseille. So, why I read and teach to read the Marseille Tarot? Short answer. The Tarot de Marseille, as we read and teach it, allows us absolute freedom when reading the cards. It gives the precise and concrete answer to the questions asked to the cards without any need for decorations or flourishes, or you prefer to say it. The Marseille Tarot gives us wings to fly in our readings. Now, the long answer. I'll start by telling a little about my story. I began with the Tarot de Marseille. It was my first ever tarot deck, as I have already explained in other videos. Step by step, I learned the major arcana. However, back then the minors resisted me. I wasn't ready for them yet. This led me to study the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, or tarot deck of RWS, multiple names, which minor arcana seemed easier and more accessible because it was not just these things that you are watching here, right? They were illustrated. There were some actions depicted in the cards, and that seemed more accessible in order to understand the message. After some time of study and practice, I used the Rider-Waite-Smith deck in my readings without any problem. Everything flowed very well, and both me and my consultants were happy with the results. But there came a day when, little by little, step by step, the RWS tarot fell short because the image in the cards only conveys one idea of all the possible ones. To understand why, you first have to understand that in this deck, Arthur Edward Waite had the artist Pamela Coleman Smith capture his ideas about what the tarot was. That is, it was his interpretation of the arcana. This is especially more serious in the suit of swords, where, except for the ace, all the minor arcana are directly negative, not to say that they are the worst ones in the whole deck. If the suit of swords represent the world of ideas and the element of air, it seems like a contradiction that all of its cards are bad. There is something good about air. It keeps us alive when we breathe, right? Ideas have something good. They allow us to improve, to move forward, invent, or look for new solutions, for instance. I said before that this led me to study the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, whose minor arcana seemed easier, more accessible. Over time, I learned that the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot made it easier for me to read the minor arcana by giving me a landscape to look at. But to look through a keyhole, I could see only a fraction of the entire landscape, just what Mr. Waite wanted to be seen. For many people, that is enough. There's no problem with it. I've also read like that. Here at 78 Puertas, we respect the people who use the Rider-Waite-Smith. We have friends who use it. And that doesn't mean we stop being friends or anything like that. We also respect Waite himself and the work he did, and also to Pamela Coleman Smith, who is usually forgotten when people talk about this deck. The RWS Tarot is by far the best-selling tarot deck in history, and that is an important fact that should not be left aside. There are many people who read with it, and they do it very well, and we think it's fantastic. The world of cartomancy is very big. There are many different types of tarots: Marseille, Rider, Scapini, fairies, vampires, whatever. Playing cards from different countries with different images or suits, French, Spanish, German, and many more. And there are also many types of different oracles. There are millions of people in the world, and you only feel affinity for a few of them, and you fall in love with one, only one, luckily. And the same thing happens with the decks of cards. You feel this connection with just a few decks, not with all of them, and you fall in love with one, if you're lucky. In my case, it's the Marseille. But here at 78 Puertas, we are passionate about going beyond what is apparent or what is partial. When they only let us look through a keyhole, we do see the part of the landscape they show us, and we like it. But we know that there is an even bigger landscape around that we don't see, and we want to see it. We want to explore it and enjoy it. We want to know it for ourselves, and that our students can do it too, if that is their wish, of course. And that is precisely what the Tarot de Marseille gives us: absolute freedom. Freedom to see everything, and not just what someone allows us to see through that keyhole. That's why we are passionate about the Tarot de Marseille, because there are no established limits on what we can see, read, or teach to our clients or students. precisely one of the things we want to convey to our students with our TDM courses is that the freedom I talked about before makes it much easier to read the Marseille than to read the Rider-Waite. I think that an example might be useful here. I've prepared these cards. These are from the Universal Weight Tarot deck by US Games. We have the 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and 10 of Pentacles. You know these cards. We all know them. Okay, I'm going to put them here so you can see them well. And I also have here the 3 of coins, not pentacles, the 6 of coins, and the 10 of coins, the same cards from this one, the Tarot Key 23 by Gergely Bahameri, which is a classical tarot, a version of the tarot by Catherine Geoffroy, but with these pip cards, okay? But it doesn't matter which one you can use or read. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a different Marseille or a different illustrated tarot deck, unicorns, fairies, witches, wherever, okay? Without a question, which is always crucial to have the context for the reading, in the Rider-Waite Smith here, I see the story of a man who goes to work, gets paid his salary, and enjoy life with his family. Nice, lovely story. Cool. And that's all I see. You may see more stories here, of course, more than me. Certainly. But with the same cards down here, with the TDM, I see the story of an investment with great returns. The benefits of a good investment. I also see the rises of the prices of stock options in Wall Street or the beefsteak you buy in your butchers. I also see a person who is getting bigger and bigger and will need to buy a new swimming suit this summer. And therefore I see the fail in getting slim to be able to choose the swimming suit from the past year. I also see the rise of the temperature of a baby with fever. Do you see these little fires growing up and getting more and more, and the fat cells of before? I also see a married couple who join their patrimonies, but who feel no love for each other. And that's just to start. I mean, when I say that in the TDM, there are no keyholes to see the landscape. When I say that I see the whole landscape, I know what I'm saying and why I say so. The oldest known Marseille tarot, with Marseille structure and iconography, is from around the year 1650. There may be others earlier than that, but for now, I have no news about it. 1650. The Rider-Waite Smith is from 1910. As good as it is, which it is not such thing as the original tarot, as I have heard more than once. With the Tarot de Marseille, as I have already told you in our videos and courses, you can read it perfectly without learning meanings by heart. But let's suppose that you do have those meanings. Let's say that you know 10, okay? 10 different meanings for each card. So you have 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. And you begin to combine them and trying to find the right combination to answer the question. Number 2 with number 5 with number 9, or is it the 10 with the 9 with the 1 and the 3? You know what I mean? When doing, with those 10 meanings, when doing a simple spread of just 5 cards, you have many different combinations of meanings. And something that we have noticed in people who have taken a course with us is that our way of reading distresses them. It reduces the stress when trying to find the right combination. of meanings, because they simply have to focus on the cards and look without the tension of hitting the right combination. That is, you can read and learn to read without memorizing meanings. The Marseille Tarot gives us the freedom to explore and allows us to develop the capacity for paying attention and analysis, so as not to have to read by intuition, or in other words, I say what comes to my mind in that particular moment. It's not advisable to teach a child to walk with crutches when they are perfectly healthy, since those supports that at first can give them security end up becoming a generator of fear and insecurity. In the world of tarot, from our point of view, those crutches are the pre-established minions. We are able to see and read the cards for ourselves with our own eyes, and that is what we offer to our students, the ability to read the tarot from their own life experience, the possibility of bringing to light the tarot reader that we all have inside. You too. I'd like, before ending up, to include here the most brilliant definition of the tarot that Jean-Claude Flournoy left us. It's my own translation from Spanish to English, so it might not be too accurate. Okay, I have it written here, so I'm going to read it just in case to avoid problems. Just a second. The tarot is the Compostela of the soul. Where am I? Here, yeah. The tarot is the Compostela of the soul. It is the star of the Camino for the pilgrim soul that, step by step, we travel during our journey through the land. The tarot is the Ariadne's thread of the psychonaut, or rather the tarot naut. It is the guide for inner transformation, the finger that points towards the moon. It makes us aware of the stages we go through, phase after phase, and explains them to us. It is a traveling companion who, from time to time, immerses us in its vision, shattering our preconceptions. A magic is then activated and goes into action. The age of sorcerers is reborn, and living becomes an adventure again. The tarot is a drunken ship, drunk with freedom, with joy, with living in the present. A ship propelled at the mercy of the wind of analogy over the ocean of the soul. I think that's absolutely beautiful. So I hope that now you understand the Tarot de Marseille a little better. And if you want to continue talking about this exciting topic, you can leave us a comment down here below, or do your own VR. We love the respectful exchange of ideas, and it is the best way to advance and to grow. And if this video has sparkled your interest in learning to read the Tarot de Marseille, you have the link to the information about our courses down here in the description box, okay? Many thanks for watching, many thanks for your interest, and many thanks for your time. See you next time. Bye-bye.